A storm returning to Port Charles. Why Sonny and Carly are inevitably being pulled back together. In Port Charles, relationships have always shifted like tides, unpredictable, powerful, and impossible to ignore. Yet amid the chaos, one gravitational force has remained constant for decades: the profound, volatile, fiercely protective connection between Sonny Corinthos and Carly Spencer. As the latest events unfold, it has become increasingly clear that General Hospital is preparing the ground for something many viewers have anticipated, argued about, prayed for, and even feared: the resurgence of the iconic Carson Union. The most recent episodes have illustrated just how fragile new alliances can be, especially when built on unstable ground. Sonny's brief entanglement with Ada Justine Turner has imploded with a force that surprised neither the characters nor the audience. Her ambition, already sharp as a blade, crossed into the reckless when she targeted young Rocco Falconeri to advance her political profile. Sonny, a man who has lived his entire adult life by codes of loyalty and protection, could not stomach the sight of a child being thrown into danger for someone else's career. His fury was swift, cold, and final. Justine Turner, in a single breath, transformed herself from potential ally to undeniable enemy. On the other side of town, Carly Spencer has been experiencing her own disillusionment. Jack Brennan, once the man she allowed into her guarded world, shattered her trust in the most unforgivable way. He used her daughter. Learning that Jack manipulated Jocelyn into the orbit of the WSB, exposing her to risk without Carly's knowledge, stripped away any remaining illusion of who he truly was. For Carly, betrayal is not an abstraction, it is a wound with a long, violent history. Jack reopened scars she fought hard to heal. Now, Carly stands at a dangerous crossroads, working alongside Valentine Cassadine to dismantle Brennan's power. She isn't merely pulling away from Jack, she is erasing every bridge between them, replacing vulnerability with strategy. When a mother realizes someone has threatened her child, forgiveness becomes a language she no longer speaks. These two ruptured storylines, Sonny's rejection of Justine and Carly's rejection of Jack, have created an unmistakable narrative pattern. Both characters have been stripped of their romantic distractions, pushed back into the emotional space where they have always functioned best, together. And audiences have noticed. Social media uproar all but drowned out the Sonny-Justine dynamic from the moment it appeared. Fans rejected it, and loudly. By contrast, Carly's pairing with Jack still has a small but determined following, yet even those supporters have begun to acknowledge the irreversible fracture that comes from endangering Jocelyn. When trust dies, romance cannot survive its burial. And in the empty space where both broken relationships once stood, something familiar begins to stir. The possibility of a Carson reunion is not merely speculative, it is being woven into the emotional architecture of the show. Port Charles has witnessed this pattern before. Whenever Sonny and Carly drift into other lives, other relationships, other ambitions, the universe seems engineered to force them back together through circumstances no one else could survive. Their history is not a chain holding them down, it is a map guiding them home. What makes them stronger together than apart is not sweetness or serenity, it is the recognition that they genuinely see each other. Carly has always understood the dangerous world Sonny inhabits more clearly than anyone else. She has stepped into that world, stood in it, fought in it, and in doing so became the only person who could challenge Sonny without diminishing him. When he was presumed dead, she didn't just mourn him, she took his place at the Five Families table and controlled an empire built on fear. Very few could have done what she did. Even fewer could have lived through it. And Sonny? He has stood by Carly in moments where other men would have walked away forever. He protected her, trusted her judgment when others doubted her, and made decisions that showed she was not simply a partner, she was integral to his survival. Their loyalty has been tested, broken, rebuilt, and reforged so many times that it has become something nearly mythic within the GH universe. Their past, tumultuous as it is, serves not as a barrier but as a testament. 5 marriages. 1 vow renewal. Children, tragedies, miracles, betrayals, reunions. No matter how wide the gap between their lives becomes, they always find their way back, as if bound by a force deeper than circumstance. Now, with Nina's betrayal still reverberating through Sonny's life and with Carly's righteous fury ignited by Jack's deception, both stand on the edge of familiar emotional territory. They are wounded, protective, bracing for the next strike, and in those moments, they have always turned toward one another, not away. It is easy to say that GH is recycling history. But that is not quite accurate. The potential Sonny-Carly reunion brewing now is not simply a repeat, it is a return shaped by new scars, new enemies, and new clarity. Sonny knows he cannot risk letting someone into his life who plays politics with children. Carly knows she cannot gamble her daughter's safety on a man whose loyalties shift like shadows. What remains, when the noise quiets, is the one connection that has never entirely broken. A Carson resurrection is not just wishful thinking from fans. It is a narrative correction, a realignment of two characters who have outgrown their entanglements elsewhere. For many viewers, Sonny and Carly are the heartbeat of General Hospital, the turbulent fusion that defines an era. They are flawed, fiery, and deeply human, and they fight for their family with a ferocity that no other pairing has ever replicated. GH knows its history. GH knows its audience. And GH knows the gravitational pull of its most iconic couple. So as the dust settles from Sonny's disillusionment and Carly's awakening, as betrayals calcify into resolve and threats sharpen into action, one thing is becoming clearer with every passing episode. These two are being moved, once again, onto the same path. Perhaps the world around them must burn a little first. Perhaps they will fight it, resist it, or deny it. But Sonny Corinthos and Carly Spencer have always been more than a romantic pairing. They are a legacy, a story that refuses to end, no matter how many times it is rewritten. And in Port Charles, legacies have a way of rising when no one expects it.